Alright folks, here we are, 256 garage. Here's the little Altima that we bought from Copart, 2018 with 36,000 miles. We bought it hitting the back, if y'all remember. We got it back from the frame shop, getting it pulled. As you can tell, came out real nice. Well, I'm gonna take it apart. It's the old deck lid in there. But I'm gonna take the taillights, bumper, and the deck lid and all back off. And I gotta work the quarters a little bit. They came out real nice, but they still need a little bit of body work to make it right. I'm gonna take a bumper and the taillights back out, body work the quarter panels, and I'm gonna take a look at the rear body. I don't think we're gonna replace the rear body, so therefore I'm gonna probably take some time straightening it up and making it look nice too, because it all came out exceptionally well. It's gonna make a nice car. I believe we got it where we want it. I'm going to take and start working these quarter panels now. I'm going to take 80 grit on DA, knock the shiny off, give it some scratches, and I'll wipe it with a little filler. Shouldn't take a whole lot. It does need a little bit, as you can tell there in them with them lights. And on both sides. We'll take and weld that. Where's that? There it is. We'll take and clamp that back together and weld that little bit that tore loose, and that little bit tore loose, and that'll be all. There's no need. I don't feel like there's any need in replacing that rear body. It came out real nice. Looks fine. That'll be that much less cutting and welding on this new car. I believe that's better for it, because everything will snap back on, bolt up, look good. Won't never see none of that. It'll be fine. Alright, here we have got it DA'd with 80 grit. There's what it looks like. No shiny left. We're going to take now and wipe it with a little filler on both sides. There it is. I'll put the camera back up where maybe you can see something, and I'll start trying to get it wiped. Hey guys, here we are. As you can tell, I've ended up wiping another spot on this quarter panel on both sides. Had a little going on down there towards the bottom. The camera died, so I didn't get any blocking the top spot with 80. But I've done blocked the top with 80, re-wiped it, and wiped down there at the bottom with filler. Now I've got it pretty well where I believe I'm going to like it. I'm going to take now, I've put guide coat over it. I'm going to take 180 on a block, and I'm going to block both spots with 180. And then I'll 320 on out past my scratches here, and it should be ready to prime. So here we are. I'm going to set it down where maybe y'all can see. I'll get my 180 on blocking stick. I'm going to block it. I'm going to start with this round stick up here on the top part, because the way it's made here, this round block will block inside that a little better rather than that square with the squared off sides. It's liable to leave blocking marks with the square one. So I'm going to start with the round blocking up there. Show you right here what the guide coat does. Why I use guide coat. You see right there where I haven't sanded any at all. And then if you look up here where I've been blocking, you see spots like it right there. It's still got a little black in there. Or right here, right there. That means it's still low a little bit right there. It still needs to be sanded out. It shows up the harsh 80 grit scratches where we need to completely get rid of those with 180. That way the primer will fill it up and it won't shrink back and show when we paint it. But I've still got plenty there to block. I'm not done blocking yet. I just wanted to show you what the guide coat does. People ask me a lot of times when they walk in here, what are you rubbing on that? Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm rubbing guide coat. And now, as you can see, I'm done blocking. There isn't any guide coat left on there. And you ask, well, how do you know you got more left to block? Well, you can tell by the edges of your Bondo what it looks like to tell if you got more to block. See how that's kind of a strong edge, and like see right here how it tapers off better. Well, that means that still needs to be blocked on out. And you can also tell if you start seeing metal, you need to stop, because you're not going to block metal down. So that's going to be grade, steak grade. You need to stop there, and it needs more filler. But we ain't got any metal showing, so we're good in that case. Alright, I got everything blocked with the 180. There's a spot on this I didn't like, so I re-wiped it. And same with this side, I went ahead and re-wiped it real close, but I just want to be sure and get it. So I just went ahead and re-wiped it. I'll have to block them 3 spots down again. Right now I'm tearing the deck lid down, the used deck lid. I'm going to take the lights out, all the stuff off, the emblems, and then I'm going to start blocking it and search for dents. Make sure there ain't no dents in it, get it primed so we can paint it black. Before you go getting real excited, all that was a glass cleaner. I just sprayed it down with glass cleaner, wiped it off. It had some dirt and grime on it. Just kind of cleaned it up. I'm going to take now and search for dents while it's shiny and mark the dents, and I'll try to fix them and get it ready to prime. I'm going to take a little paint thinner and wipe the numbers off from the junkyard. Take that off. There it is. And you want to get them numbers off, because that stuff can and will bleed through your paint if you don't. Sharpie marks, anything like that that's wet when applying, it's got to dry, it will bleed through when you go to paint it. But there it is. It's completely, everything is removed. In the insurance world we call R&I. But I noticed a few little spots on it. There's a little spot right here you see in that video, shows up pretty good. I've got to take care of. There's there's a little, I don't know if it's going to show up. Right there's a little bit of a dent. You can see it distort that light when it comes across it right there. And it's got a small, just chip right there, not really a chip or nothing, but just where the paint was rubbed off, needs to be primed, DA primed. But other than that, it's a real nice deck lid. I think them 3 little spots is all I gotta fix. They'll be ready to sand down and shoot black. Them 2 spots were so minor. I took that metal file and I blocked it down with the metal file, and then I run over it with 80 grit on the DA. I'll go back now with 180, and then I'll 320 out past that, and I'll prime them. But as you can see, it's got good uniform 80 grit scratches. I kept the DA flat and run over it, so it turned out pretty nice. I believe now, like I say, when I run over at 180, go on that perimeter with 320, and then I prime it, I believe it'll take care of it. Block the primer and paint it. Alright, here we are back. I've had a bunch of company in and out, so I've turned the camera off. But I've went out with 320, as you can tell, with the DA. And then I've took in the other spots, like inside that taillight pocket and stuff, a red Scotch-Brite and scuffed around. Make sure it's got good. It's good and sanded, so it's got a good place for the primer to stick to. I'll get it out here in a little bit, foot. I can't talk this morning for nothing. But there it is, ready to prime. I'm about to take the deck lid off and put it on a stand so I can prime them 3 spots. But I'll get the deck lid off, I'll tape the quarters off, and I'll get spraying some primer.